What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So last night, 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who's widely considered the face of the sport of boxing, top 10 pound for pound best fighters in the world, and is the undisputed super middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, whom I have now moved up on my pound for pound list once again. He's no stranger to the pound for pound list. And that's Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is now 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez dominated last night. 3-time junior middleweight world champion, former undisputed junior middleweight world champion, and now the reigning unified junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jermall Ironman Charlo. Jermall Ironman Charlo is now 35 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'11" and a half with a 73.5-inch arm reach. Jermall Charlo was daring to be great, jumping up from 154 to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez. We had undisputed versus undisputed. And the reason that he's the former undisputed champion is because immediately following his introduction as the undisputed junior middleweight champion, the World Boxing Organization, better known as the WBO, decided that they were going to strip Jermall Charlo of his title and elevate undefeated Australian star boxer Tim Tszyu to the WBO super champion. So now he's just the unified champion. Nonetheless, Jermall Charlo, Terence, and Canelo Alvarez, they fought. And Jermall Charlo lost, in my opinion, 11 rounds. I gave him maybe the 5th round, maybe. And then he got dropped in the fight as well, in the 7th round. I predicted that Canelo Alvarez would win a unanimous decision and drop Jermall Charlo in the 8th round, but he won a unanimous decision and dropped him in the 7th round. With that said, I've now moved Canelo Alvarez back up into that top 5 pound for pound list because, as I stated before this fight, Jermall Charlo is a very big junior middleweight, almost 6 feet tall. He has a big frame, and I believe that his frame can allow him to jump up to super middleweight. Is the weight going to be a factor? Absolutely. But can he, fill in? Absolutely. And so after the performance, we had a guy in undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, now the reigning undisputed welterweight world champion, who is widely acknowledged and recognized as the #1 best pound for pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is now 40 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 36 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. He's coming off the biggest win of his career, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, as he took on and defeated former unified 3-belt WBC, WBA, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is at the time widely considered top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, and Earl the True Spence Jr., who is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9" and a half with a 72-inch arm reach and a southpaw. Terence Crawford dominated that fight, dropped Errol Spence in the 2nd round, twice in the 7th round, and stopped him in the 9th. And he widely was acknowledged and recognized as the best fighter in the world. And he had his sights set on a fight with Jermall Charlo. But obviously Jermall Charlo was daring to be great, moving up to challenge Canelo Alvarez. And initially Terence Crawford said his cap was 154, his limit. And then he since changed that. And he stated that, well, I can go up to 168 and challenge the winner. And so after the performance, it got many people to say, well, Terence Crawford can't deal with Canelo Alvarez. He will automatically lose based off of what you saw with Canelo Alvarez and Jermall Charlo. That's not an indication that Canelo Alvarez would beat Terence Crawford. That's just an indication that Canelo Alvarez was able to beat Jermall Charlo. Now, I stated and told you guys how the fight was going to play out. I said that Canelo's going to win a unanimous decision. He's going to drop Jermall Charlo in the 8th round. He's going to render him inactive. Jermall Charlo is going to be hesitant, and he's going to be there to survive. I thought in the first half of the fight it would be competitive, but Jermall Charlo, from the very moment that he felt the power and the strength of Canelo Alvarez, he packed it in. I thought he would pack it in after getting knocked down in the 8th round, and then Canelo Alvarez would cruise on from that moment on because Jermall Charlo won't give him no more openings. But I was wrong in that sense. And now I'm going to tell you and break down why Terence Crawford is a completely different task than Jermall Charlo, although Terence Crawford is coming up from a smaller weight class. Terence Crawford is physically more imposing than Jermall Charlo as far as his just physical strength and his balance. Terence Crawford has faster hands than Jermall Charlo. He's more versatile, and he's not as stationary as Jermall Charlo. It's extremely hard to hit a target that's moving. Terence Crawford is a much better mover and a much more elusive target than Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo bounces right to left, bounces left to right, trying to think about which way he wants to escape out when he finds himself trapped in a position he don't want to be in. Terence Crawford strategically places his foot in a direction where he wants to go. He already knows where he wants to go before he's trapped. He doesn't wait till he's trapped. When Jermall Charlo is trapped, he bounces from left to right and then tries to find an opening to slip out. That's not what Terence Crawford does. Terence Crawford's ring IQ and mobility is completely different than that of Jermall Charlo, who at times, at his best, is flat-footed, sitting down on his punches and his jab. He didn't commit to his jab. He's not as good of a counterpuncher as Terence Crawford. Doesn't have as quick hands, okay? He's a thudder that can box. He's a boxer puncher. Terence Crawford is unlabeled. He's not a boxer puncher. He's not a puncher boxer. He's not just a elusive boxer. He is all in one. Terence Crawford has extremely long arms, even longer than Jermall Charlo. He has power in both hands, and he utilizes that power in both hands, unlike Jermall Charlo. Terence Crawford can switch from orthodox to southpaw, which also allows him to give angles and be in positions, and he's comfortable in every position you put him in because he can fight out of any style, out of any angle, okay, from any stance. Where Jermall Charlo, when you put him in a certain position, he's going to go into a high guard, go into a shell, because he needs to be in a position, in a stance that he's comfortable with. So he's either going to try to tie up or he's going to go into a shell and be defensive. Terence Crawford doesn't have to do that because Terence Crawford, if you put him in a position that the angle that you feel is favorable to yourself, meaning the other fighter, his opponent, is still favorable to him because he's able to fight in any stance and use any angle. He's more flea-footed than Jermall Charlo. Again, he's a harder target to hit. He's a way better counterpuncher. Jermall Charlo on the inside is not as good of a counterpuncher and strategic as Terence Crawford is. Jermall Charlo is a very good fighter in mid-range and in the outside. We saw that with Brian Castano when he had trouble, when he struggled. In order to beat Canelo Alvarez, it's not about having strength. I continue to hear this narrative that Terence Crawford doesn't have enough power to keep Canelo Alvarez off of him, so therefore Canelo Alvarez is going to just dominate Terence Crawford. He's just simply too small, which is completely not true. Okay? Terence Crawford doesn't need to be stronger or more powerful than Canelo Alvarez. He doesn't need to be stronger or more powerful than Jermall Charlo. He needs to be strategically more effective than Jermall Charlo. He needs to be more accurate than Jermall Charlo. The fighters that given Canelo Alvarez problems, again, like I said, are movers, boxers that are elusive, that can counterpunch him and make him freeze. Canelo Alvarez is not concerned with your power. He's concerned with your accuracy because he's a thinker himself. If you remove the element of surprise and he doesn't have a puzzle to figure out, then, well, he'll be a bull in a china shop, 18-wheeler coming downhill with no brakes. But if you making him think and making him switch and change directions, then he's a thinker. Hence the reason why he struggled with Erislandy Lara, whose size is similar to Terence Crawford, 5'9" with a 75-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. And a southpaw. Lara is a southpaw. Floyd Mayweather's elusive defense and counterpunch ability. Floyd Mayweather wasn't moving a lot against Canelo Alvarez. He was making him miss in a phone booth and countering him and being strategic and being accurate. That's what shocks Canelo Alvarez and stops him, stops his momentum, and stops and lowers his activity. The same thing Dimitri Bivol did. Switching, changing the channel, giving him different angles, not looking to knock him out, but being strategic and being accurate. And you render him inactive, right? And so Terence Crawford, it's being misconstrued that Terence Crawford is just simply too small, don't have enough power to keep him off of him. When that's simply not necessary. He doesn't need enough power to keep him off of him. He just has to be sharp enough and accurate enough and elusive enough to frustrate Canelo Alvarez and lower his activity. And then you can outbox him. Billy Joe Saunders was outboxing him. Caleb Plant was outboxing him. But they don't have the durability. They don't have the power to get Canelo Alvarez's attention with the skill set. See, that's the difference. See, I know people will say, well, you just said he don't need to have power. The power with the skill set. Floyd Mayweather had just enough pop with his accuracy and his skill set and his elusiveness to keep Canelo Alvarez honest. So did Erislandy Lara, and Terence Crawford has more power than both Erislandy Lara and Floyd Mayweather. And the angles that he will use to surprise Canelo Alvarez with his punches that Canelo Alvarez doesn't see is going to be a problem for Canelo Alvarez. And you best believe Terence Crawford will not allow himself to be trapped on the ropes consistently like Jermall Charlo did. And he's not going to be confused and unsettled like Jermall Charlo. And Terence Crawford has power in both hands. He's only went the distance 3 times since becoming a world champion in 2014. Canelo Alvarez fights at a very slow pace. And so with that said, when you believe that he needs the power to keep him off him, see, fans identify with power because it's the easiest thing to identify. It's the easiest thing to translate to a casual mindset, right? It's power. It is understandable and it's recognizable in any walk of life. So fans and people always gravitate towards power. If you got power, you can do anything. Strategy and skill set wins fights, not power all the time. Power does win fights, but not all the time. And so in this case, his jab ability, Terence Crawford, his counterpunch ability, his long arms, his ring IQ, his elusiveness will be a ton for Canelo Alvarez to handle. So don't be confused with what you saw with Jermall Charlo and make you believe that that's what's going to happen with Terence Crawford, because it's simply not. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.